Hey F Trader, how's it going? It's been a long time since I've done a video, and I figured today's as good of a day as any to light the pit and you know share a little reminiscence with you. I know some of you guys are like, "Oh my gosh, we've slipped from all-time high 420 down to whatever 250 something today." Well, you, you know everything's got to correct at some point, and all this correction is really nothing but opportunity. So if you're one of these guys that's like slinging your whole stack around at $350 and that's your buy-in point, maybe consider not doing that. And just I always like to see when people advise, and I'm not a great trader at all, don't get me wrong. Um, but I like, I'll take my glasses off so you can see me. Uh, I like seeing people, maybe go in half on your stack and then just park some buy orders. Unless it's very clear there's an abrupt news cycle that kind of when we were back below $150, it just felt very imminent at that point to jump on board. But that being said, uh, let's see where this goes, because you gotta realize that some of the ICO people, if they spent $2,500 on the ICO for Ethereum back in the day when it was released, if those people really held on all the way to just $300, I think that's like $3 million now, right, for them. So people are going to be taking some profit at some point. Hold on, I got a little analogy for you. So I found these gloves, right? I just happened to pick these up and they're mismatched, but then I looked at them and they're like green and red. So I was not part of the ICO. And I think some people in F Trader, because I've been here a long time, consider me some kind of a whale. I want you to remove that directly from your brain bank. Okay, I'm nothing more than a living meme for all that it's worth. I've been doing weekly buys. I did cash out a little small annuity and put it in at 134. I mean, but I'm not even on the radar on the wallet list, and I don't want any of you guys to feel like that that just because you may have two or three or four or 10 or 100 ETH, that somehow that it's not worth something, and that you're being manipulated. The market is the market. I mean, real manipulation is apparent at times, but at the end of the day, it's just a bunch of buyers and sellers. Some of them are big and some of them are small. And if you're captivated by the price, that's great, but don't let it will your emotion, okay? Because the team is phenomenal. The fundamentals haven't changed. There's a ton of excitement. I mean, a ton of media attention. And whatever's happening with a $50 or $75 swing here and there, that's the market. It's a small, small, small market that can be pushed around at will by very large hands. And so when somebody says, "Oh my gosh, there's a 2,000 ETH wall," on the sell side, right? So people are they freak out a little bit. Let me tell you something. On one hand, I have my buy button, and on the other hand, I have five fingers. This isn't going to panic me into doing nothing. I mean, a 2,000 sale wall, that's one Bitcoin back in 2015, okay, with the ICO of Ethereum itself. Now, that being said, what's hurting? What's hurting a lot of people's trust right now are the ICOs. The massive money grabs done by very, very small groups of people, and a lot of them have lofty visions. And I'm not going to say that they're not all working hard, but part of me is just like greed takes over at some point. It's just a fact. And if ICOs are going to cash out, it's gonna drive the price down of Ethereum. That's just a natural cycle of things. The Ethereum market is finding its legs. It's figuring out how to deal with the ICOs, and when people participate in them, they're taking a gamble. And when the Ethereum is locked up in a contract, the developers are also taking a profit. They're going to. So um, you got to be doing your due diligence and keep your eyes wide open. It's the Wild West. That's never going to change. Not in the near future. Um, there's plenty of activity going on the EEA side of things, and um, we're still waiting on another announcement. And if that announcement comes through and it's no big deal, then it's just business as usual. You got to get out of the 15-minute candles. You got to get out of the 4-hour candles. You got to even get out of the daily, even the weekly at times. The fundamentals haven't changed. It may take a long time for this to blossom. And to be honest, I don't think anything in Bitcoin blossomed this fast. Not the amount of developers. Bitcoin paved a huge road for everybody. And cheers on Bitcoin if they do manage to succeed and do manage to um, do their fork. If they do a fork, I'm all for it. The entire crypto space is gathering confidence, and this is going to be an amazing adventure to watch it kind of unfold, to see how governments react to it, because we really are at a crossroads. I mean, 99% of the world doesn't get it. They still think that crypto is just funny money and it's a scam and it's not worthwhile. Well, a lot of people are waking up paying attention to it because it really does kind of circumvent traditional instruments as far as the markets go. And I know this is a bunch of mumbo jumbo, and I know many of you guys have heard this before, so, you know, and I do mean it when I post like, hey, we got 56,000 F traders today. I mean, I do mean it. Welcome aboard. This is a big boat, and we got lots of room for all kinds of new people from all kinds of walks of life. I mean, people that have never been in crypto before are joining F-Trader because they really just want to learn how to do a wallet, you know. So we have to engage them and we have to train them. We're getting a lot of people joining the sub that are bitter for whatever reason from Bitcoin land, and they don't want to re-answer these questions like they have for the last 5 to 7 years. Well, rewind the dial 4 years, okay? Re-engage folks and help them figure it out, because there's a movement afoot, and right now it's a $100 billion movement, up 5x from January. Okay, the road to a trillion and the road to 2 trillion, I think, is within a year or two, and I really believe that. And I'm not talking about Ethereum. I'm just talking about in general. There are going to be use cases that are just common everyday things that are going to be starting to take place. And if you're panicking right now because you see this price drop to $250 and you're bitching about it, pardon my French, and you're complaining about it, you got to step back and just watch, because it's happening. It is. These companies are not going to inform you of every development that they come along that's groundbreaking. Why? Because it's competition. It's plain and simple. You know, if Toyota on the Ethereum blockchain comes up with a way to power cars before Tesla does, just giving an idea, and they team up with Samsung for whatever reason, then hold on to your hats. Whether it's a public or private blockchain, that's going to really start the ball rolling towards, okay, we get it, we see this is happening, right? These companies are not here to make you a profit, okay? The developers of Ethereum, the lead developers, they're there to do their job coding. They've been financed, they're working hard. All the other developers are coming up with use cases and smart contracts, regardless of scams. There's a lot of grease on the wheels right now, and not everybody's going to show their hand to make you money. So if you're just waiting for a news bit to pump the price so you can make a quick profit, then you're a day trader, and that's fine. We need you. We need all of our traders. But if you consider yourself a holder and you're sweating, then you're not a holder. You're sweating. There's a difference. Hold on one second. Making a video. So anyway, it's been a long time since I've made a video. I've actually kind of fallen off the wagon a bit as far as making audio podcasts and videos and whatnot. I've been very consumed just in my personal life trying to get my eggs together. And anyway, I decided today would be good as day as any to go ahead and light the pit. So cheers, big hugs from Kinsey. You like that sound? Like that? That's a lot of propane. Better calm that down a bit. We'll let that sit there for a second. I've actually been trimming a lot of trees on the property, and in my dream of getting Vitalik Buterin out here to talk for a while by the fire, I actually on my property took our old swing set and made a whimsical little stage. Maybe Vitalik is going to give a small presentation using a chalkboard and chalk. So cheers to Vitalik and Vlad and Dr. Gavin Wood and all the guys that are up there at the top of this monster. So, I think that's good. I can probably shut that off. It's kind of fun, isn't it? Anyway, hopefully I'll be able to host DevCon 7 in the backyard, right? DevCon 7, the pork chain conference. Anyway, cheers, be good traders, and you guys are in the best time of your lives. You just may not all know it yet. Take care.